So, Father Chris, we're talking about dismissal catechesis, and have any of the members of the congregation wondered why, and maybe even asked you why, all of a sudden people get up and walk out of church after the readings, after the homily?
It might sound strange, but no, they haven't. But I think probably the reason for that is that we haven't just had people walking out after the homily. We have tried to explain a little bit about why they were going and what they were doing. So they haven't just been suddenly faced with a situation where people were disappearing and wondering where they were going.
Right. And how have the congregation reacted? Have there been any positive outcomes for them?
I think the main benefit for the congregation has been that making them aware of the inquirer or inquirers, those looking for baptism. Although they're introduced to the parish and we present them by celebrating Dismissal Catechesis over weeks, they become very much aware that they are preparing for something very special. It also, I think, helps them to perhaps appreciate better their own involvement in the liturgy of the Eucharist.
And what about those who are dismissed, the catechumens? It must be quite nerve-wracking to stand up and walk out. Has it had a positive effect on them?
It's certainly nerve-wracking the first time. I think there don't be any doubt about that. But the feedback from catechumens who've done it, who've gone out, has always been very positive. They've said they've learned a lot, and it's made them reflect more deeply on what they're doing, and really made them realise that and feel that they were preparing for something very special when they were preparing to celebrate the sacraments at Easter.
Have there been any difficulties either on that you've found or the catechumens or the congregation have found?
There are practical difficulties. I mean, the biggest difficulty, as far as I'm concerned, is operating over two churches.
Right.
So we have 4 masses in 2 churches, and obviously catechumens go to different masses and different churches, and arranging a programme that can deal with that situation is difficult. It's also, of course, a problem sometimes for the catechists that they want to take part in the full Eucharist, so they have to go to Mass perhaps either the night before or to a second Mass very often in preparation.
Right. How do you see it, dismissal of the catechumens developing? Do you have any hopes as to the fruits it might bear in the future?
I think it's certainly something we want to continue doing, and I would just hope that it would make more and more people aware of the process of Christian initiation and the part that they have to play, that they're involved. And even though people are leaving the assembly in a strange way, I think it makes people more aware that they are part of that assembly.
And you've been dismissing the catechumens all year round, but of course presumably it reaches a climax with the scrutinies. How has that
indeed
made a difference?
I think the celebration of the scrutinies is a huge help because it solemnizes the dismissal. It gives a reason for it. It puts it in context. Praying over the catechumens and then dismissing them really highlights and emphasizes what's going on, what they're doing, why they're doing it, and what they're preparing for. So I think the scrutinies are absolutely vital part of the catechesis. Yeah.
Just one final question that occurs to me. Is it just the catechumens that you dismiss, or do you dismiss the candidates as well?
In theory, we just dismiss the catechumens, but we have had candidates for full communion who have asked if they could also join them. Yes, very interesting. That they really want to go out because they thought they might be missing something perhaps, and they wanted to take part in the extra catechesis, the extra reflection on the Word that was taking place on a Sunday morning.
Yeah. So, Father Chrysler, thank you very much. So, May, you were baptised this last Easter.
Yes, I did.
And so for the Sunday Masses, for the year leading up to that, you were sent out after the homily, you were dismissed. How did that feel?
Special. And I felt that I was the chosen one. No, it doesn't matter who you were. You still be accepted by God.
So you felt welcomed?
Yes, I did.
You felt accepted.
Yes.
And you went out. Did you feel supported by the rest of the congregation? Because they stayed behind,
yes.
but they saw you going out.
Yes. It felt like they were open armed, hugging me in a way or loving me.
Right.
And it was really nice.
Right. So they weren't saying, right, off you go.
No,
goodbye.
no, they weren't. No, there was more than welcome.
Right, excellent. And when you went out, it was to listen again to the readings that you just heard, yes. and to unpack them a bit more, to reflect on them. What difference did that make?
Actually, it makes a lot of difference on hearing by other people's reflex on things, and it does put you into a certain perspective in life, and right. you think about it and think, oh yeah, that's how it should be, or no, that shouldn't be like that. But yeah, it does. It makes a lot of difference, and not experience that I haven't experienced. I can hear other experiences
right,
from
so
people.
You listen to
yes.
other people's experiences, and presumably you'd share your own.
Yes,
experiences.
I do, and then we just learn from each other.
Okay. And then you'd meet again during the week for the regular RCIA session. How was that then?
It's different every week. You learn things, and you learn new things. Or you just listen to people, or people with experiences that you've never experienced before, or experience that I haven't experienced before. You just learn from them as well.
What do you think, when you look back, what do you think was really special about the Sunday experiences?
I felt special every week.
Okay.
And accepted by all the community.
Okay.
As being like
so
a family.
They were involved?
Yes, they were.
Okay. And did you see yourself, when in the future there are other people being dismissed, preparing for baptism, do you see yourself being involved in helping them in their journey?
I'd be happy to help them. More than happy.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, Catherine, you've got great experience in the RCIA. You know that not every parish sends out their catechumens, but you do that here. What benefits do you find in Dismissal Catechesis?
I think I see it as threefold. For the catechumens, it's very beneficial, because it's not just sharing the word with them like you do at an ordinary session, but they've got the whole experience of having listened to the word and being broken open within the community. And all the things that go with that, I suppose, the whole liturgical experience of the sights, the sounds, the singing, whatever. And it's fresh and real. And whereas, as a parishioner, I might sit in the bench and think, I'd like to talk about that bit now, or I'd like to do, they actually get a chance to do it.
Right.
And so for myself, it's beneficial, and the other sponsors and catechists that join in it, they enjoy it. And for the community, I think it's of great benefit, because I think, as Father Chris said, it's uplifting for them. It's challenging, because so many say, I've never thought about things maybe quite as much as they're getting a chance to. And it's a challenge to think, well, where am I in being how I should be because of my baptism? Would I be so excited about preparing for baptism if it was now? So it's on all counts, really.
Okay. It sounds like it does make a difference. It does, but it can't be easy to implement it. There must be challenges there.
Yes. The first one is having the courage to go to people and say, would you go to 2 masses on Sunday so that you can come, or one Saturday night, so that you can come and take part in Dismissal Catechesis.
What response do you get?
Realistic ones. I mean, there have been some people who've said, I'm afraid I've got this, and I've got the children, I've got this and that, and it can't be, I can't fit it in. But, when the children are older, I will, you get. Could be other things that they're doing. you know, somebody who's taking out 8 communions, you know, to people, then they can't, obviously. But others, you know, have been very positive about it, and so it's usually people who are already involved in the other sessions.
And when they do respond, they get something out of it themselves.
They do. They all say that, yes, yes, yeah. Other difficulties are, again, is the two halves of the parish, if you like, the two churches, and finding venues that are you know, suitable venues. But that's easily overcome.
So you'd say, you know, the benefits outweigh the difficulties.
Yes, yes. And the more I'm involved with it, the more I get courage, and other people are more familiar with what's going on, so I can go and approach people, and they know what I'm talking about because they've seen it happen. You know, so
and having experienced it now, how would you see Dismissal Catechesis developing? Any changes that you've already had to introduce? Any changes that you'd foresee for the future?
Again, it's about having confidence and courage doing it. One, I think the practical thing I want to change is, rather than allow my shyness as well as the catechumens' shyness to mean that we walk, you know, from here over there, the shortest route, to get the processional cross to lead us out. You know, the children go into children's liturgy of the word are led by the processional cross. We ought to be. And so in this particular church, you know, so people get chance to, the people at the back get to see who the candidates are, the catechumens are. And it involves them more. And as we've seen in the smaller church, people welcome the catechumen more easily. They know them very well by the time they've been going out each week.
Does the congregation just, at the moment, do they just observe going out, or do they respond in any way?
The non-prepared responses that you see are just the smiles and the encouragement that people give. The actual rite of sending, so there are the prayers, you know, and the dismissal itself. But when you come to celebrate the scrutinies, of course, they have been very involved, and you know, we've had times when the people have been invited to raise their hands and pray with the priest, you know, and in silence. And you can feel the atmosphere lift and being, you know, it's everybody's task. And that's, again, one of the main benefits that I didn't say, that it becomes something more that this is our role. It's the parish that is sending these people to reflect on the Word of God. It's not something that just happens in a back room somewhere.
It's
not
finally,
small.
to a parish or a priest or a coordinator that was hesitant, thinking of all the difficulties, what would you say?
Oh, I'd say overcome them and just try it, and you'll see the difference it can make. And I think you can't underestimate the fact that we're trying all the time to tell the parishioners it's their role, their task, and this gives them the role, you know.
Catherine Davis, thank you very much.